We are live. We are live. We're live. Hey, 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 Facebook. How you doing? Come and join us. Come and join us. We are talking today about transition.
Mm.
Good, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I got with me my friend, my oh my gosh, my mentor, my coach before. She helped me so much, Dr. B, amazing Dr. B. She's an epic as well. And you guys, this is all natural. Let me just tell you because I have not been to bed. It's 4:50 Pacific Standard Time, and I have not to bed. I was about to go to bed, and Dr. B went live. And I caught her live, and then she called me. She had a word for me, and we're talking about transition. So I have no makeup. This is all natural. Dr. V went live with no makeup.
And look at me now. What did I do though when I went live with no makeup? What happened, Anne Marie?
She transitioned right there and then. I wish I had my makeup to do that same thing.
Listen, I did my whole face and it was a lesson in every step of the way when I did it. So you guys, I'm excited. First of all, Anne Marie, let me say congratulations to you. Like you are killing it in Epic. Girl, you are doing the thing. I'm so proud of you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. You have some amazing people on your team. You are just being an incredible leader. Yes, girl. You put my favorite background up. Listen.
Girl, we can put that jet. I said, let me put that jet up there.
Listen, because you know that's all I talk about is that jet, girl. Listen, and let me tell you what I said. I told people, I said, listen, I'm going through transition because I am literally in the process of going through a divorce. And I made a decision to transition. It was a difficult decision, but it was one that was necessary. Sometimes that decision is a hard one to make, even harder to walk out, right? But I said, listen, this next time around, if he can't put me on a private jet or he has no desire to be on a private jet, right, man, he can't even talk to me, girl. I need that private jet lifestyle. So you know what I decided, Anne Marie? Are you frozen?
No, I'm here.
Oh, I decided I need an epic man.
And there you go, right? He has to be epic.
I need somebody who's working towards. Come on now, right? So I need somebody who's working towards what I'm working towards.
Yes. Right. And she was talking to me about transition, and I said, I haven't went live all week because some of you might be seeing, you see my background here, right? Because I'm moving and I am transitioning too. And so I was sharing with her, I said, let's go live. And she said, let's go live on transition, even when it don't look, even when it looks ugly. So you might see my back, and I have boxes back here, and I'm packing and I'm moving because I'm transitioning. And God, I know what I'm doing right now is necessary for God to take me to the next level. I know that with everything in me, right? And Dr. V just confirmed that to me.
Yeah.
I saw somebody else do a post that confirms something for me. And it's like God will always speak to you. He'll speak to you in either dreams or visions or speak to your spirit. And when she came out, I said, Dr. V, everything. She gave me a word, and I said, everything you said, I already kind of knew, but it was like she confirmed it for me. And things that I was going through in my life, it just spoke to me, right? Because God will use people to speak. And I haven't talked to Dr. V for a long time.
It's been months since we've talked. Months. Right. And I think the last time we talked, we just talked in chat because I was trying to get a flyer done. Speaking of which, let me say this. Flyers, you need some flyers, you need some graphics done. Listen, this one right here, Anne Marie, she's the bomb. So I'm just telling y'all. So that's that. I just had to put that plug in. I know you're not going to put that plug in, but I'll put it in for you. Okay.
You know what? That's something that God has blessed me with. I know that. I know that my talent and my ability comes from God and nobody else. Because there'll be times where I might be stuck on something. I'm like, God, what do you want me to do for this person? Especially if it's a Christian book or something. What do you want? What's your vision? I know it comes from God because I don't care how much God elevates me. Like, oh man, Dr. V, tell them what you said about that elevate. When God elevates you to something, you Bro, you know what? Because you have to stay humble. This is one thing I know. I have been in companies, I've made it high up there, I made it, but you stay humble. Because if God elevates you to something and you're not ready, tell them, Dr. B. What'd you
So
say?
listen, this is what I said. I said, listen, you know, a lot of times you may be frustrated because you're not elevating at the pace that you want to elevate. But see, God has to make sure that when you're elevated, that your character has been tried and tested, right? That your skin is thick enough to handle the elevation, that your character will keep you after the elevation. And sometimes when people get elevated too soon and they've not been tried and tested, then they get tested in the elevation and they end up failing, right? And so then that's a whole situation. So you want to make sure that you're ready for that elevation. That means that you got to get yourself together so that when the elevation occurs, you can stay there. And it's not a thing where you're going to be knocked down. So you got to know that. You got to know that you're going to be tried and tested. And you got to know that you are going to pass the test.
Right. Because you know what? God's not going to bring you to a certain level that you can't handle, because at every new level, there's going to be a new devil. Right.
Yeah.
And every new place. I mean, I was just sharing with Dr. V the things that I was going through in my life and the things that what I went through with my previous company, and how it took me a step of faith to leave there, leave my provision, what I thought, but even though I know God is my ultimate provision, but to leave that and come to here where I was not even looking for something else, and Epic fell in my lap. And it was like, I knew it was God. I knew the people that he positioned me with. I knew the people that he's placed in my team, the people that he's partnered with me, and the people that he's going to partner with me. Because I mean, I've been reaching out to people, right? And I was sharing this with Dr. B, and, you know, either everybody's already in Epic or they're this and that. But I always say, you know what, God, you have for me what you have for me. God has for Dr. V what he has for Dr. V. And he has for who he has for them, right? And there's always going to be a time and a season where, and who he has for whatever, right? And I just really believe that for me. I know I'm just like, God, I'm just humbly like, Lord, you know, I don't know how to say it, Jesus. Like, go ahead.
So listen. So let me tell you what I decided as it relates to Epic, right? Because a lot of the people that were partnered with me in a previous company are either still with that company or they already have transitioned to another company that provides Forex trading education. And so this is what God told me. He said, I'm calling you to introduce new people to this, right? And so that's my focus, right? And listen, it was confirmed yesterday because I reached out to somebody that had partnered with us in the previous company, and they were like, oh, well, so-and-so already reached out to me. I was like, oh, I didn't even know they were in the company, because I don't know who all's in the company, right?
Right.
But let me tell you, God said, listen, I told you that I'm going to connect you with people who have not been a part necessarily of the platform, for you to introduce them to the platform. And so for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about Forex trading on the foreign exchange market, which is the largest, most liquid financial market in the world, the only market that has never crashed in history, right? And it's a $6.6 trillion a day industry. $6.6 trillion a day flows through the foreign exchange market. And you all think about this, because this is the thing that God spoke to me today. You know, I was trading online this morning. I get up, I trade with some of my team at 5 o'clock in the morning. And we had a whole worship service. We went in. The presence of the Lord was there, right? And so we were trading with the team in Africa, right? And so when we think about the residual side of the income, when we think about the trading side of the income, we think of what it would do for us. But even the fact, I'm currently a founder 500 with the company, which means I've added an extra $6,000 a year to my household, right? And they pay weekly, and they don't just pay on time. They pay what? Early, because we got paid early,
right? I saw that yesterday.
What? I said we just closed the week out Sunday at midnight.
Jesus.
And we got paid. These people are not playing. That's what I'm saying. I love this leadership, the corporate team. So anyway, I had the team on from Africa. Now, do you know that $500 US dollars is 470? It's like 235,000 whatever in Nigeria. Like, that's a game changer for them. So for me, the fact that we have access to a market that allows us not just to build locally, but to build internationally. So if you're connected to people internationally, listen, this could change their lives, right? Literally. They're learning their skill set that is portable, that they can use, right? And then they can build residual income. And that residual money, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. Residual money is good stuff.
Right. And, the fact that it was funny that we were talking and we're like, what are you doing? I'm trading. I was up trading. I was about to go to bed about 4:00 and I saw Dr. V go live and I started connecting with her. And what she said just hit my spirit. You all know I'm a believer. And it's like she had a word for me. And it's like, I believe in divine connection, divine appointment, divine timing. And that's how I felt it was with this company when I got in. And when I saw it, it happened like this. I wasn't looking. A client came to me for a flyer because I'm a graphic designer. I said, what's Epic? They started to tell me. I didn't really know my client, like how they build or whatever. So I reached out. I was like, Lord, who do I reach out to? So I reached out to somebody that I knew might be in it. And sure enough, he was. And I connected. Now, I didn't even think of Dr. B because she was my first sponsor in another company. And because I knew she was doing something else. And so I reached out to him, but it still aligned perfectly for me who I reached out with and who he was connected with, somebody with corporate, and then who she aligned with, she was with somebody with corporate. So the connection, God has certain connections for certain people, right? But it still lined up for me. And I'm just believing. We're here confessing. I am an ambassador 10. We're confessing that. I'm believing that, right? I am an ambassador 10.
I am epic.
I am epic. I'm an epic girl.
Come, right? Everything else is going to come, but I am epic because epic is $1 million a month residual. I am epic. It is private jet service for up to 6 people, 25 hours of private jet service for up to 6 people per year.
I'm epic. That's amazing.
I'm epic.
I'm epic. So hey, here's Dr. Shalendia. Hey, Shalendia, this is my girlfriend. I'm epic, right? So I was excited when you were telling me because I did miss that Super Saturday, but you were telling me, I'm like, what? Like even all this stuff because I had not heard. I mean, I've been seeing the Rolexes, I've been seeing the jet, I've been seeing the Lamborghinis and the cars and all that, but you were telling me about the other stuff, and I'm like, what?
Listen. Anne-Marie, let me tell you something. I was half asleep and I was looking at the playback of the Super Saturday. First of all, our founder, David McCovey, was talking and he was saying, listen, I'm telling y'all, I just love this company. So anyway, he was saying something about the 3 types of people in your life and knowing who's in your life. And so as he was talking, he said, listen, if you enjoyed this is not my training. You need to go check out TD Jakes because he's the one who said this. I said, did he just give somebody credit? Because most of the time people don't give no credit, right? They make it like it's theirs, right? He said, and he gave credit. I was like, what? He gave credit? So then I backed up and they started talking. In fact, our president, Mr. Spencer Iverson, I call him El Presidente. El Presidente. Listen, y'all know I think I'm Dominican or something. I'm African, I'm Dominican, I'm everything, right? But anyway, he was talking about the compensation plan and the rewards. And he was talking about the rewards and he said, okay, dog tag, epic dog tag. He said the ring, right? And $5,000. Then he said the trips, right? Mexico and Dubai. And I said, wait a minute. All I've been talking about is going to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai. What? Then he talked about the Rolex. Oh, I want a Rolex. I don't want to pay for a Rolex, but I want a Rolex, right? Then he was talking about, listen, I don't want to pay for none of this stuff that I'm talking about, but I want it, okay? I need you to understand, right? Then he started talking about the, after the Rolex, he started talking about the car program. I said, okay. He said, but listen, what makes us different is, you don't get the payment. You pick out your car. We pay for the car and give you the keys and the title right then. I said, you do what? What?
Come on. You do what? Say that again.
you pick out the car. You pick out your car, you lay it out, you get the options that you want. You have it. I pick out my royal blue Tesla that's fully loaded, right? And then I tell them, this is the car that I want. These are the specifications. The company pays for the car, gets the keys and the title, and say, Dr. V, here's your car. Now that's the car celebration, a car pickup that I want to be at, because you know it's yours for life. As long as you want it, it's yours, right? So I was like, okay, they got the Tesla in here? Because most car companies don't have a Tesla. They got the Tesla. They got my Tesla in here. Okay, I'm done with this. Then they pulled out the Lamborghini. I said, oh my God, listen. What? A Lamborghini Hurricane? What?
Yeah,
Are you kidding? That car is so bad. It is so fire. Then they said, oh, and when you hit the rank of epic, we wanted to do something that was absolutely epic. I was like this, what are you going to do? 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 Like, how do you top the stuff that you just did, right? How do you top it?
Right.
Private jet service for up to 6 people, 25 hours a year. I said, did he say private jet service? And I've been talking about getting on the jet, on the private jet? What? I said, oh no, I'm epic. I said, I'm epic. I'm epic. Hey, I'm epic. And literally that night when I finished, I promise you, it was about 1 something in the morning. And I text our vice president of sales, Mark Sterling, and I said, listen, I just watched the Super Saturday. It was amazing. You guys are incredible. You did a great job. Listen, I'm all in.
Right. What do you got to do? What do I got to do?
Right. So he immediately texted me back. It was like 1 something in the morning. I was expecting him to text me the next day. No, he was up. He immediately texted me back. And then he was like, I'm going to call you. I said, what? The vice president of sales is going to call me? Yes. And so he called me. He was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Tomorrow, let's set up a call. We're going to map out your strategy. Baby, listen, next thing I knew, I was being launched, and our global master ambassador did my launch, and bam, here we go. Listen, our president, Mr. Spencer Iverson, launched my business partner, Michelle Mickey Benton, our vice president. Listen, I'm telling you, the support that I've received from corporate has been incredible. So when I got the call on set, first of all, okay, I'm just excited. Let me calm down, y'all. I just get excited. But Anne-Marie, this is why I wanted you to go live, because like, I don't want to not share this with people, right? So not only do we have incredible Forex trading education, but we've got incredible leadership, right? And it's leadership that wants us to win. The system really is designed so that anyone can win, right? It's a matter of you using the system and that app, girl.
Right? I just started using that and I'm like, what? We got an app too on top of that? And it's affordable?
Listen, I said that app. Listen, I was in the app. I've been in the app since I got in, and I knew there was an app. I was in the app. That app is amazing. You can invite from the app. You can schedule events on the calendar. You can send people invitations to your event from the app. Like everything, your entire business can be built from the app, from your cell phone. And that to me is so in line with what we do, because trading we do from our cell phone. So we're building our business from our cell phone. Everything we do is from our cell phone. If you have a phone and Wi-Fi connection, you can do this business regardless of where you are in the world. We're in over 130 countries. And that was exciting to me. So to be able to help people in other countries, that's huge to me.
Right. And you guys, if you're just joining us, the reason why I'm just looking like natural, like I said, we were doing this transition. Dr. B said, let's get on live. We were talking. I said, I don't have no makeup on. I was ready to go to bed. She came on live. She didn't have no makeup. She did her makeup brush. She was talking on her live. I said, man, I need my makeup to do that. And she said, are you ready to go live? She said, are you ready to go live? I said, yeah, let's go. Let's plan it. She goes, no, I mean right now. And I'm like, but I got no makeup. I said, look at it. I said, I'm all natural right now. She said, no, let's go live. We need to talk about this. Because she had went live and we were both trading. She goes, what are you doing up every now? Because, I'm at Pacific Standard Time. She's Eastern. So for her, it's already like 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock?
For me, I haven't been to bed. It's 5 a.m. I was trading. I was doing some trading on US 30. I was doing some trading. I was up and I was about to go to bed. And it's like she came on live and she goes, let's go live now. And when she says, are you ready? And I'm like thinking we're gonna schedule something. I'm gonna get all prettied up. I was talking about, no, I can't go live. Look at my back office. My office looks a mess because I'm moving, right? You guys might be seeing my posts. I'm selling stuff, getting rid of. I'm transitioning. And when you're in a time of transition, it don't look pretty, right? Your life is a mess. I've been stressed a little bit too sometimes. I've been working my business, my Corral Designs. In between that, I pack. In between that, I go and, do the laundry or clean the house or I do this or I do that. And so it's a transition. It's a step, right? My front room has a bunch of boxes. I'm transitioning. I'm moving. God's taking me to a new level, right? So I'm busy, right? But I'm enjoying Too Epic. I still plug in. I make sure I'm in the groups. I make sure I get live. I'm going live at least 2 times a day. I haven't went live personally. As I was telling her, I said, well, I haven't went live because my back looks a mess. I said, but I've been live. I'm going live. Like I'm streaming the calls, the presentation. I have an amazing sponsor who does amazing jobs on his presentation. He does a great job and he did a fast start. It was like how to get started, how to get a business, how to duplicate it. Guys, this company, I've never seen a compensation so freaking easy.
Yeah.
3 people is all you ever need to max out the compensation plan. I have been in companies where you need 3. But then, okay, when you get to this level, now you got to get this many people personally, and this many people personally, and this many people personally. And here at Epic, when I said only 3, like only ever, 3
personally referred people.
Personally referred people, right. But if you teach your team the process of duplication, 3 who get 3, who get 3, who get 3, 10 people, I'm at a founder 500 too. So, like she said, I never thought about how you said it. I'm making an extra $6,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. And then more is going to come. I'm working to my next level, because I'm confessing that I am an ambassador 10. I am epic. I'm sold out. I've been so excited about this company. I was kind of dormant. You guys heard me. I went live a few weeks ago, but when I launched my business with Epic, I was like, look, I have been like, nowhere to be seen. I was MIA, man. I was like, what happened to her? Right? And Epic came along and I got excited again because I knew this was God. Yes. I knew this was God for me. Yes. And I have to watch myself and I have to make sure that I stay humble. And then this transition started where I got to move. And I'm like, but God, but you know what? I know he's taking me to a new level. And every time you go to a new level, I know there's a new devil, right? And I know there's going to come that oppression and there's going to come the naysayers and there's going to come the haters, right? But you have to just keep pushing forward because God has got somebody for me and somebody needs something from me as well. Or I got something for them, vice versa. He has a connection for everybody. I've been told by Dr. V before. She was the one who told me this. She's like, you're a connector. And I'm like, I don't want to be a connector. Talk about that, Dr. V, how you said.
So listen, so when you're a connector, you end up connecting people who need to meet each other, right? Yeah. You are someone who God uses to make connections. Now, you may not directly benefit from that connection that you made, right? But there's a reason that God uses you as a connector, okay? Because he needs people to connect the dots so that his plan, his will can be made manifest in the earth realm, right? And so being a connector is not a bad thing. It's a great thing because listen, I want to tell you this. So when in the Bible, when Joseph was in prison and it was the baker and the cupbearer that were there, and they had dreams, and Joseph interpreted their dreams. Now, one of them would go, and they would be a connector for Joseph and the Pharaoh, right? And so he made that connection, and that connection allowed Joseph to be placed in a position that he otherwise would not have been in. But it happened because Joseph was obedient and did what he was supposed to do. His gift made room for him. And that's what I want you guys to understand. there's enough room out here for everyone to be successful.
Right.
Everyone.
Right.
There's enough room for everyone to be successful. We don't have to fight over people. We don't have to fight over space or territory. It's enough people who need desperately an opportunity to add residual income to their household. There's enough people who need to learn how to trade on the foreign exchange market so that it puts us in a position where God can use us. So that's what we got to focus on, is just being who God has called us to be, doing what God has called us to do, and being able to serve in whatever capacity God needs us to serve. That's it.
Because I remember when you told me that back in 2017, that I was a connector. And remember my response? I said, Dr. B, I don't want to be a connector. But over these last years, I have actually seen that. How I've connected people to where they needed to be and who they needed to meet and stuff like. And it's like, that's by God's design, not mine. Mm-hmm. Right? And I started to accept that. I connect people. And I even tell my friend, Dr. Sharon, who's on here, she's also a life coach and she's one of my coaches. And actually, Dr. V was one of my first life coaches that I had and mentored me. Do you remember that? She mentored me on how to go live. Right? She has a class on that. What do you call it? Mic drop or drop the mic or
my Mic Drop Academy, where I teach people how to drop
Academy, right? So I met her in 2016, and then I just loved her spirit. I loved it, and she was my first coach that I ever had. And when she was telling me this stuff, I was like, I want this and I want, but I've seen how it's happened. I've seen how it's progressed and how God uses your talents and abilities for a reason, right? So all of us are talented. Every single one of you have a talent and an ability that God has for someone that it helps and stuff. So you know, there's a reason, and it's just a divine connection. That's all I have to. I mean, it's just a divine connection. Even meeting today when we haven't talked for years. Like we've said hi and bye or on the chat, but we haven't talked literally for years.
And, that's right. And I stayed at your house. Like, I stayed at your house. I had a whole room. Joseph let me into the room. He sure did. That's my baby.
She came down for an event. She stayed at my house. We catered. I connected her with some other people in California.
And I stayed in California for a month. A full month. I was in California for a month and I stayed with people. This was the craziest thing ever. I spent a week with my sister and my brother there. And then I spent about 2 weeks with people I met when I got to California. Like, and it's so crazy because I was looking at our memories from that and I was like, oh my God.
Because they've been popping up, huh?
Crazy. Yes.
Now, let me tell you guys how God works. Okay, Dr. V, I took her to the airport. She was supposed to get on a plane on standby, right? She could not get a flight. And I woke up, it was real early in the morning or the night, I can't remember. But I woke up, I'm not a early morning person. People who know me, Dr. Shalini, I know you're just going to laugh because she's always saying, are you woke yet? But I woke up, I called Dr. V, she had been calling me, and I said, Dr. V, something in my spirit, you're supposed to meet this person. She knows who I'm talking about, right? And she goes, well, who is she? I said, I don't know. But God, I was getting ready and God spoke to me that you needed to go meet this person. So I called this person on the phone. Hey, XYZ, I don't want to say her name. And for some reason, you're supposed to meet Dr. B. And that's how it happened. I mean, literally like that.
And that's my sister. Listen, I got a whole family behind that, a whole family. Right. You know, and it's amazing. And we talk to this day. We talk to this day. That's our family. Listen, I'm telling you. And it happened because Anne Marie connected us. You connected me with Sharita.
I know that too.
Because I didn't know Sharita. And Sharita and I both was looking at each other with some side eye like, who is it? Okay.
Remember how that was? It was like Dr. V was coming down. I'm going to go pick her up from the airport in LAX. Sharita's like, hey, can you pick me up too? And I'm like, Dr. V, there's this friend of mine. She needs to be picked up from the airport too. And she's like, who is she? I'm like, well, she's a friend that I met from Epic. I mean, not from Epic, from the company, whatever we were in at the time. And they met at the airport. I knew both of them and they connected. Now they work together. They do stuff together. They got videos together. I mean, Jesus.
Billboards together. Yes. And see, that's the thing I'm telling you. So you can't despise your transition. You can't despise your transition. Let me tell y'all something. If you've been waiting to do something until after your transition, stop waiting. Listen, God is moving in the midst of the transition. Don't wait. That's why I told Emery, no. You know, the coach in me always comes out. No, we need to go live now. Let's go now. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? She's like, well, I need to. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The way I look is all her fault. No, just kidding.
Girl, you look great. You look amazing. You look amazing. I know this morning when I went live, you know, I didn't have any makeup on. My eyebrows weren't drawn in yet. Like none of that stuff. Like this is not the face. If you go look at my live from this morning, that's not the face I started with. The face I ended with was not the face I started with. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's important. It's important. I think it's important to have a level of transparency that allows people to see transition, because then it lets them know they're not the only one. And little did I know that we both were transitioning, because I just moved in August. So, you know, I had to make some difficult decisions and made my decisions and did what I needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Right. And she was sharing with me and I said, wow, I'm going through the same exact thing. I said, we're transitioning. And you know what I love about it is that she's like, let's use that. Because I was making an excuse not to go live because I'm packing, you know, and instead use it about, you know, because there's somebody out there that might need it. If you're going through a difficult season in your life and you're having to transition, and I'm having to humble myself where I'm having to move and do some things, but I know it's for a purpose, because sometimes God wants to see, are you going to do what I'm asking you to do? Are you going to pass that test so that I can take you to where I need to take you? Jesus, because where I got to take you, Jesus, where I need to take you, you know, you have to be obedient to what he's telling you, right? And so it was a difficult decision, just like she made. I had to move, and I'm moving. I'm having to pack up my whole house, put it in storage right now, and go through some stuff. And it's a transition, but I believe in God, and I'm standing on God's word, and I'm standing on God's promise of what he told me.
Yes.
I know that where I'm at right now is where he needs me. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Wow. So I don't know who needs to hear this, just like I had to hear when she came live. You know, if you're going through something, you're transitioning, take that step of faith. I shared with Dr. B that when I left my last company, it was me taking a step of faith, knowing that I was going to lose somebody that I had been working with for a while because they were paying me well. But you know what I had to know? That God was my provider.
Come on now.
That person started to tell me, but hey, Emery, I give you XYZ amount of work. Right? And I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm just saying, sometimes if you're on a place or a job or a company that you're not happy, why are you there?
Come on, girl. You better preach.
Why are you there? I was not happy for like 2 months, 3 months. I was so miserable. Right?
You better preach.
It had nothing to do with the company. It was just where I was at the time. It wasn't where I had to transition. I had to leave. I had no ill feelings to nobody. I have no ill feelings to the company. Nothing. It wasn't even about that. It was about me not being happy. If you're in a place and you're not happy, God's, it's like the season's over.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta move.
That's right.
Bless you. What's to say he can't bless you in old wineskin, right?
Yeah. You can't pour new wine in old wineskin because it'll explode.
Yep.
It'll explode. And so some of you are asking for new wine, but you're trying to get it in the old wineskin. It's going to explode. So don't be afraid of shift. Don't be afraid of transition. Don't be afraid of it. In fact, know that when things get tight, God is up to something. And you just want to make sure that you're being obedient. I'm telling you, you got to be obedient at all costs. You know, I could have gotten off the live, like I could have not gone live. That was the first thing, right? Because it was early in the morning. I didn't have no makeup on. I had been crying because we had been trading with the team out of Africa, and they were so grateful. They were so grateful for what I was teaching them. And then after I got on, you know, like I could have not been obedient. God told me to prophesy to the people. And I could have said, well, Lord, I don't want to prophesy today. I just want to talk about this. And I hadn't done it in a while. I hadn't done a drive-by like that in a while where I gave people individual words and he said, do it. And I did. And then I could have been disobedient and not told Anne Marie what he said. And then I could have not told her, I'm going to call you because I've got more to say. I could have not done it. But see, this is the thing that I've learned about my God, right? My God requires me to do all of what he says. And so when he tells me to do something, I have to do it, even if it's uncomfortable, even if I don't know how people are going to receive it. No matter what, I have to do what he says. And when I do it, though, it always works for all of our good. And so that's what you see today. This is the culmination of obedience on both of our parts, right? Because we were obedient, we are here right now sharing this information with you. And I have to say this because I think it's important for people to understand. You know, I have done business a long time. And one of the things that is challenging about business is when you're trying to figure out, well, where do I go and who do I connect with, right? Listen to the voice of God and connect with who God says, not who you say.
Right.
Connect with who God says, not who you say. You know, Anne Marie is an amazing leader, an incredible person. Listen, she is going to take great care of you. And so if you're looking at this opportunity and you're looking from her page, join her, you know, join her, take the leap, believe, you know, believe again so that you can experience the goodness of the land. You can
Amen.
with milk and honey, because that's what epic is. It is the land flowing with milk and honey. And you want to make sure that you access that. If you're watching from my page and you're connected to me, you want to connect, right? Don't keep watching, participate so that you can receive some of the blessings. So as you see the glow up, you can glow up. Anne Marie, back to you, boo.
That was good. This was good. It was improv. It was just, you know, you have to be obedient. You have to be led. And, you know, Dr. V's known me for a while. She's known some of the stuff that I struggle with. Like, you know, I'm just going to be, you guys who know me, I'm transparent and I'll be honest. I mean, that's one of the things about me. And I've struggled with things where even I didn't see in myself where other people, you know, we tend to not see what in ourselves, what other people can see. And I remember Dr. V used to always tell me, and even my life coach, you know, I see you this, I see you that, I see you this, and just things that need to come out. And so we all tend to do that, right? Not want to take that step forward or do things. But, you know, it took me a step of faith to come back out. And I'm just excited. Even when she said go live, I'm like, no, look at how I look. I'm like, oh my God. But I was obedient to that too. Because she said somebody needs to hear the transition part. Somebody needs to hear about this business. Somebody might be struggling financially. You know, we're in a pandemic season. And when I was telling her that God has blessed me through this whole time through my graphics, that I haven't had to, you know, miss a beat, I'm thankful for that. I'm humble for that.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, you guys, I hope that this, you know, helps somebody. I like how what Joyce said here, we forget that God is our source and everything else is just resources. That's powerful. That's powerful.
That's absolutely it, Joyce. You're absolutely correct. And we have the opportunity to share something amazing that can be a resource for people, you know. And you have that, it's selfish of you not to. So if you hear us talking about this incredible company called Epic all the time, it's because, like, for real, legit, Anne Marie, like, I'm in love with Epic. Like, all I want to do, girl, I don't want to do anything else. Look, I'm struggling to go teach today. Like, I don't want to teach. I just want to do Epic. I want to talk about Epic. That's all I want to do is Epic. And I had to acknowledge that. Last night I was talking to one of my sisters. I said, girl, all I want to do is Epic. Like, I'm so in love with this company and this opportunity and what it can do to change people's lives. And I don't even roll like that. You saw me with all that Epic gear on, girl. The shirt. I don't do that. I don't do that.
I already ordered my stuff too. You know, the vibe here is different. And I just think it's a God thing. I mean, even like you said, the CEO's humble. You see the leaders, they're humble. I mean, I'm like 100% sold out to Epic too. And all I want is to help my team to plug in, help them to launch, help them to do whatever they need me to do, right? If they reach out to me, I'm going to make myself available because I want my team to grow. I want my team to succeed. It's not all about me. It's not about what I make and what I get. I want everybody to succeed. I have a heart for everybody, not just me.
That's why I love you, though. That's why I love you. That really is the truth about you. You know,
people who really know me. I mean, I would like to think that I'm a humble person. You know, I'm willing to still learn from other people. I'm still willing to learn from these, six-figure leaders who are in our organization. Even you were talking about how, so and so reached out to you, and you're like, "What? They call me?" Like, it's a blessing.
It is, and I'll tell you this. Listen. Anyone who knows me knows I don't call everybody no coach. You can't coach me. You can't. You can't. I'm not telling you you haven't had success, but you can't coach me. Okay, you can't coach me. And literally, Jonathan Green and Mark Sterling, I call them coach. Jonathan calls me. I'm like, "What's up, coach? Hey, coach." I don't say that lightly, y'all. I don't say, y'all need to know Dr. V don't play that. Everybody ain't my coach. Just because I'm under you or whatever, like that don't mean you my coach. No, I don't. But I'm like, coach, put me in the game, coach. Put me in, coach. But I think that's a part of it. Yeah. Oh, that's good, Joyce. I'm excited for you. Yay. Awesome. Congratulations. We celebrate you. Well, we want you to know that you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, girl. This is an incredible opportunity. And also just want to say, if you need anything, just let us know. We'll be happy to support you as well. I'm sure you got a phenomenal team, but, if you need anything, let us know.
Right. You guys were here. We're humble. I mean,
you keep saying that. You keep saying that. Stop saying that. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me say this. I'm going to say this.
Okay, say it.
It was getting on my nerves. It was in my spirit. It was like bothering me, agitating me. I was like, if she say humble one more time, right? So this is the deal, right? I really believe that the church world has done a number on us when it comes to humility. Right. It has caused us not to really understand what true humility is. And so we have a form of humility, right? We feel like if we debase ourselves, that's us being humble. If we deny the power of God and our confidence in who he has made us to be, then that's humble. It's not. That's not. And so I want to talk to y'all for if you just give me 2 minutes to talk about humility. So listen, this is the deal. See, we are created in the image of God and in his likeness. We are created to have dominion, to walk in dominion. And when we don't walk in dominion, that is not humility. That is foolishness, right? Because God has given us dominion over the earth, right? And when we fail to exercise that, we fail to live out who God created us to be. Today, if you have felt like you need to play down who you are or be extra low key in order to be humble, that's not what real humility is. Real humility is knowing who you are in God and still being able to step back in a situation. That's real humility. See, I know who I am. I know I have an earned PhD. I know I'm brilliant. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm charismatic. I know all of that, but that does not define me. What defines me is who I am in God. It is the God in me. It is his love. It is his compassion. It is his character, his integrity. That's what defines me. Is that defines me, right? But I know those other things about myself, and I'm not playing them down to make anybody else feel good or make them feel like, oh, she's humble. No, listen, I know who I am, and you're going to treat me like who I am, and I'm going to treat you like who you are, and we're going to have mutual respect for one another, because anything else is going to be a whole problem, and it's going to be a vibe, okay? You're going to get a whole vibe from Dr. V. You'll get a whole different Dr. V. You won't get the Dr. V. You'll get the Dr. V that says, listen, what you're not going to do.
Right.
Talk to me crazy. And I don't care who you are, period, okay? So you treat me with respect, I'm gonna treat you with respect. That's what we're gonna do. All right. So don't allow not wanting, because I hear Christians say this a lot. I just want to stay humble. I just want to stay humble. I just want to stay humble. But what they do is end up kind of debasing themselves and playing down who God made them. shine,
Oh,
shine, just shine, shine. And let God do the rest. Because the people that say, I want to stay humble are already humble. You don't have to worry about that. You're already humble, right? It's a part of your DNA. It's a part of your makeup. And so what they often struggle with is the shining, walking out the dominion.
Right.
Thank you, Joyce. I love you too, boo. Girl, it's real, honey. Listen, you're going to know who I am.
Yeah, she does keep it real.
Okay? I respect you because we're all important.
That just reminds me when she used to coach me, and she's like, you say this way too many times. If I hear you say this one more time.
And listen, y'all, listen. This is probably why me and Anne Marie hadn't really talked in a long time. Because listen, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. What? My nerves is bad. Okay? My nerves is bad. Can't do it, right? I'm so proud of her though, because I see the growth, I see the development. And the fact is she's brilliant. She's amazing. She's incredible.
Thank you.
Listen to this, women. Listen. If you have people in your life that do not support you, do not encourage you, and find everything wrong with you, you're the most brilliant, talented, intelligent woman in the world, and you'll begin to doubt and question yourself. That's why connection is so key. I can remember being in an abusive relationship, an abusive marriage, and he was a pastor. And I remember, as strong as I am, as independent as I am, all of that, it took a toll on me. I almost lost myself and my life in it, right? And we got to a point where God said, it's a line right there. And he just crossed it. The next thing I know, I had done picked up a brick. I was throwing a brick at, listen, don't play with me. I'm trying not to be that person, but I will cut you and have a whole prison ministry. I'm just saying. But yeah, understand that stuff takes a toll on you. And so if you got to go through a season of building yourself up, and that means that you got to go over the great things about you. It's got to be a little extra, right? Because you're making up for the deficit and the damage so that you can walk in it and believe it finally.
Right. That's good. I believe somebody to hear that. Me too.
Yeah.
Because it does. When you're in a situation abusively, emotionally, or physically, it just it does take a toll on you. It's like, I used to use this example like this. Like if you had a glass, right? And you kept hitting that glass, like let's just pretend it's the abusive or the emotional or physical, and you keep hitting it, eventually that glass is going to shatter into pieces.
Right.
And so you got to pick up those pieces. But I like this one thing that I posted recently where some lady, it was really good actually, some lady wrote on it and she was saying, but God, I'm breaking apart. And he goes, help me put the pieces back together. And I like what God said. He said, let them fall. Let those pieces break off, because maybe you're trying to break out.
Come on.
You're breaking out. Instead of asking for him to repair you, he's trying to help you to break out of that situation, break out of the circumstance, break out of whatever it is that's holding you back, break out of that demonic, that force, that whatever, because we live in a world where we deal with spiritual warfare.
Yes.
And people don't know how to fight. Like she said, take that dominion. You have to take that dominion over those lying spirits, over that, the spirit of witchcraft, the spirit of lying, the spirit of sin, the spirit of alcohol, drugs, abuse, pornography, whatever it is.
Yes.
I don't know how we get on the tangent, but Jesus.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real.
It's real. We have to fight that every day, right? And especially women, right? I'm not saying men don't either, but it's higher in women.
Especially us. Especially us.
Right.
That's real. That's real.
Listen.
I hate to leave y'all, but I got to go to the university. This is my end, honey, because that's why I got to get to the top of Epic, right? Because I want to do what I want to when I want to.
Right. Do you still have your school?
I do. I do.
Yeah, she's amazing. She teaches teenagers. What was it? What's it called?
Through 12th grade, the Walters Academy for Entrepreneurship.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's a private school. Yeah. So my goal is to prepare the next generation to be those multi-billion-dollar entrepreneurs and not broke entrepreneurs. How about that? Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they trade. They trade on the foreign exchange market.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I love the fact that you have epic kids, so that's gonna be amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so
it is.
Dr. B, I won't hold you no more because I know you got to get to school.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on
I love it. We'll have to do it again.
Yes, girl. And thank you for giving me my jet background, honey. You put me on the jets, girl. You put me on the jets.
Girlfriend, let's go. Let's go. We have 6 people. Who's the 6th going to come? We're taking up 2 spots. Who else? We need 4 more people. Coming with us.
My epic man is gonna be on there too, girl. So you gotta put him on.
Yes,
I don't know who he is, but he gonna be there, girl. He gonna
Thank you guys for all joining us. It was amazing. It's 5:40 a.m. for Pacific. I'm going to bed. Good night. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.